Elon Musk space shares if he reaches these crazy goals. Imagine owning a company worth $1 trillion. Now imagine owning one that's worth $5 trillion. Now imagine owning one that could be someday worth $10 trillion or even more. That sounds impossible. But that's exactly why investors, economics, and even governments are watching SpaceX more closely than almost any other private company in history. Today we're going to explore what Elon Musk SpaceX shares could be worth if he actually accomplishes his ambitious goals he's laid out over the next few decades. We'll look at why SpaceX is already one of the most valuable private companies ever, how Starlink alone could become an internet giant, why Starship may completely transform the global economy, and how Elon Musk's ownership stake could make him wealthier than anyone in history. But before we begin, it's important to remember something. None of this is guaranteed. These are estimates based on optimistic scenarios, and achieving them will require overcoming enormous technical, financial, and political challenges. With that said, let's begin. SpaceX isn't just another rocket company. It has already changed the economics of space. Before SpaceX, launching rockets meant throwing away hundreds of millions of dollars after every mission. Today, Falcon 9 boosters routinely land themselves and fly again. That one innovation has dramatically reduced launching cost. As a result, SpaceX now launches more payload into orbit than the rest of the world combined in many years. The company is building Starlink, Starship, human spaceship systems, lunar landing vehicles, military launch capabilities, satellite communication, and unlike traditional aerospace companies, SpaceX controls nearly every part of its manufacturing process. This vertical integration allows the company to innovate much faster than competitors. Private market valuations already place SpaceX at well over $4 billion, making it one of the world's most valuable privately held companies. But Elon Musk believes they're only getting started. Goal number 1. Starship dominates global internet. The first major driver of SpaceX future value isn't rockets, it's internet. Starlink already has millions of customers across more than 100 countries. Unlike traditional internet providers, Starlink works almost anywhere on Earth. Remote villages, ships, airplanes, military operations, disaster zones, and entire countries. If Starlink eventually serves tens of hundreds of millions of customers, annual revenue could reach well into hundreds of billions of dollars. Some analysts believe Starlink alone could eventually become one of the largest telecommunication companies ever created. And unlike many internet providers, Starlink continues expanding almost every month as thousands of satellites are launched into orbit. The faster SpaceX launches, the faster Starlink grows, which creates a powerful cycle of growth. Goal number 2. Starship changes everything. But Starlink might not even be the biggest opportunity. The title belongs to Starship. Starship is designed to be fully reusable, rapidly reusable, capable of carrying over 100 tons to orbit, and eventually transporting people to the moon and Mars. If successful, it could reduce launch costs by another order of magnitude. Think about what happened when computers became cheaper, or smartphones, or flat-screen TVs. When technology becomes dramatically less expensive, entire industries appear. The same could happen with space. Suddenly it becomes affordable to build massive space stations, orbital facilities, space tourism, lunar mining, giant telescopes, solar-powered systems, fuel depots, and deep space exploration. Lower launch costs could unlock industries that barely exist today. SpaceX wouldn't just be selling rockets, it would become the transportation system of an entirely new economy. Perhaps Elon Musk's most ambitious goal is creating a self-sustaining city on Mars. Many people dismiss this idea as science fiction, but Musk argues that humanity needs to become multiplanetary to reduce the risk of civilization-ending disaster. To accomplish this, SpaceX hopes to eventually launch thousands of starships carrying people, equipment, food, habitats, and industrial machinery. Whether Mars becomes economically profitable remains highly uncertain, but if millions of people eventually live beyond Earth, SpaceX would almost certainly play a central role in transportation. Think of railroads during the westward expansion, or ships companies during global trade. Infrastructure builders often become some of the biggest winners. What could SpaceX actually be worth? Now comes the question everyone asks. What if all of this works? Nobody knows, but let's imagine several possible scenarios. Scenario 1. Starlink becomes one of the world's largest internet providers. Starship dramatically lowers launch costs. SpaceX continues dominating commercial launches. A valuation of 2 to 3 trillion becomes conceivable. Expands. Lunar infrastructure grows. Starlink becomes a communication giant. SpaceX could potentially reach $5 trillion. Scenario 3. This is truly ambitious scenario. Large-scale Mars transportation, frequent Starship launches, and a normal space economy. If SpaceX becomes the backbone of humanity's expansion into space, some optimistic observers speculate valuations above 10 trillion. Again, these numbers are highly speculative. They depend on technological breakthroughs, strong execution, supportive regulations, continued demand, and decades of successful growth. What would Elon Musk shares be worth? Elon Musk is believed to own roughly 40 to 45% of SpaceX, though his exact ownership changes over time. If he maintains around 42% stake, here's what that would look like. At 2 trillion valuation, his stake would be worth roughly 840 billion. At 5 trillion, it would be worth roughly 2.1 trillion, and at 10 trillion, it could be worth approximately $4.2 trillion. That would make Elon Musk, by a wide margin, the wealthiest individual in modern history, at least on paper. But it's worth remembering that most of his wealth would likely remain tied up in SpaceX shares rather than in cash. Whether SpaceX eventually becomes worth $1 trillion, 5 trillion, or something even larger, one thing is already clear. The company has fundamentally changed the economics of spaceflight. And if Elon Musk succeeds in even part of his long-term vision, future generations may look back on today's rockets the same way we look on airplanes. Primitive, expensive, and just the beginning. The next few decades may determine whether SpaceX becomes simply another successful aerospace company or the company that opened the solar system to humanity. If you've enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into future technology, AI, robotics, and the companies that are shaping tomorrow, subscribe to Future Minds with Steven. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video, guys. Peace.